What is up, everyone? It's Garrett. It's Joe. It's Wrestle Fandom Radio.
How we doing today, guys?
As you can tell, I'm a little humbled today.
I think we both. It's just I can't get over how you and I both were manipulated in the way that we were.
Well, I mean, everything with how you started, I kind of went to like the darker place, but then my misstep with that was, I told Z everything I was gonna do.
And the thing is I had told Z everything I was doing, and like
So
he played us both. This is what he used from the beginning to get the belt back.
Yeah.
And I spoke to the lawyer that we got. He's not supposed to come anywhere near us. He's not supposed to be here. If we weren't contractually obligated to still do these shows, we would take our shows and go someplace else. Because honestly, like I'm not getting involved in this kind of stuff.
I mean, that was
it's crazy. Like we got to make sure that he stays away, that he abides by the restraining order, because I don't want any more trouble. Like I just want to do the shows with my good friend and leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was downright diabolical.
Like it's crazy. This guy showed up at my house. He was hacking his own feeds.
I know.
It's insanity.
But you know what's nice? So like, it's nice though, almost that now that we don't have it. We don't have to worry about it. Like you're not trying to get it from me. I'm not trying to get it from you. We can focus on the show.
Right. We don't have to worry about all that.
What's going to be great is, it's like he's not going to come here. He's not going to mess with us.
Did you lock all the doors? Because I just don't want him showing up here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course I did. I mean, he does have a key. It's his studio.
Right. But like, what the? Is that him?
Did you invite somebody else?
No, I didn't.
Oh shit. Oh man.
Hi, Coffin. Yeah. Go ahead. Right here you go, bud.
Oh man. Hi, Coffin.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going. It's fine.
Garrett, put his name on there.
I'm going.
You don't even put the man's name on there?
I'm going.
Vice President Coffin, thank you.
It looks like he forgot about you again there, Coffin.
You didn't know I was coming. By the way, you still haven't started locking the door?
Dude, I locked all the doors.
Now you're going to need a new lock.
Oh, man, it's going to cost so much.
You can get paid better. So, do you remember what happened last time I was here?
Of course I remember.
Remember how that went?
Yes.
What did I tell you? That if I ever thought I needed to come back here again, you weren't going to like it.
Yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know, this is VP Coffin from Ataxia.
Did you just cut me off?
No, sir. I was just introducing you.
You cut me off. I tell you what. I don't want to hear nothing else from you right now, because the last time I saw you, you were getting a My Little Pony tattooed on your ass. So just...
I'm a brony.
Yeah, we can tell. So it's been almost 2 years.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you were going to behave yourself, but clearly you can't. And you know what you've done wrong, right?
Yeah, no, but the last Wrestle Fandom Radio, Before that.
Talking about how the Greeks and Sheiks are the greatest faction around and immortal and everything, and you don't even think to mention Ataxia?
You said that.
I
may have said that. I'm sorry.
Now, to be fair, those guys are great. I love them. Love everything they do, the work they put in. They deserve everything they get. But to not even mention Ataxia?
Well, okay. At the moment, I apologize. Okay, I'm sorry. I stepped out of bounds with that statement.
Again.
All right, I'm sorry. All right, is that all? Or?
I don't know. My apology last time I had to apologize to you by order of Mike King was a little bit better, but whatever. And then Yes, let's talk about your last Wrestle Fandom when you did the rundown of Immortal.
Yikes.
And you actually forgot the Ataxia match.
Okay. What in my defense?
It was in his notes. I put it in his notes.
It was in my notes. I glossed over. In my defense,
Glossed over.
Okay.
Yikes.
In my defense,
Glossed over.
Normally, the title match is the last match. And when I mentioned that, my brain automatically wanted to go to the next thing. And emotions were running high. I had just become the champ again. I was
where's that belt, by the way?
It's a whole thing.
A whole thing? You don't have that anymore.
No,
so
it's not here.
Because you've been a cocky little guy past couple weeks, a lot of confidence, and you don't seem to have that anymore.
No.
Look at the sweatshirt he's wearing.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh, that's fair.
Hey, Dolphins fan.
Ooh.
Don't start with me.
Ooh.
All right.
Getting behind, bud.
All right.
I watch a real man sport, so hockey.
Oh,
you know, where they actually hit harder and you could die.
I thought you were going to say synchronized figure skating.
That's dangerous too. At least they got blades on their feet. But anyways, it's not even the fact that you just forgot the Ataxia match. It was the freaking main event, dude.
I know.
The main event.
Sorry. I said I was sorry. I said I was sorry to everybody.
Had the loudest pop in Impact history.
The Impact?
Immortal.
We're doing an Impact thing later on.
Impact?
It's got Impact on the brain.
We're doing our top 5's Impact today.
Oof. So, the only time you mentioned Ataxia before then was when Sergeant Fury came back and had a match, and you wondered why wasn't he in his Ataxia gear? First,
I did think that was weird.
How's that weird? He retired 2.5 years ago. He's a grown-ass man. If he decides he wants to come back without Ataxia, he can. We're still on great terms with him. Anytime he wants to come back and join us again, he's free to do so. If he decides not to, that's on him. But he knows we'll always have his back. But that was the only time he mentioned Ataxia, when we had undoubtedly what is probably going to be match of the year.
It did. It blew the house down, man. How I went over it, I don't know. I did apologize even on air that I glossed over it.
Still treated
After he had to call you out on it.
Still treated it as an
horrible
afterthought.
Journalism.
I know.
You know, and it's not just myself and Bishop and, you know, we had Nightmare out there, Wicked, Damian Slade, and the returning High Voltage Omar.
I know. HBO.
And do the other guys some respect. You left out Garrett Holiday. You left out Chip and Shane Stetson.
I know.
Where's Shane Stetson these days?
I said I was sorry.
Where is he these days?
On Dark.
Yeah. So your professional journalism in the wrestling business doesn't mean a lot right now, does it?
It was a hiccup.
A hiccup.
It was one hiccup.
A hiccup.
More like a blunder, bro.
Did you stop being on his side? You're supposed to be my best friend over here.
Yeah, he's within striking distance. He knows what to do.
But it's the truth, though. Like,
I know. That's why I'm apologizing. I'm okay.
But now, because you're messed up, I do have to say we have a wonderful guest here. Would you want to join us for the rest of the show?
I'm here. I may as well.
Yeah, I think it would be great to have you on, Coffin.
Of course. I mean, I already put your name on the screen. I mean, let's,
All right.
You're always welcome here.
Please stick around. I mean, you know.
And next time, just call us before so we can unlock the door so you can just...
I like my way better. By the way, it was very disrespectful of you while I was getting tended to by medical staff to come up and ask for merchandise. Not even asked how I was.
Okay, but...
What are you doing?
I wanted it.
You represent the whole show.
I know, but I wanted an autograph.
He actually asked for an autographed bandana while I'm getting tended to. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't feel my arm.
The man went through a table. It was not a
well,
door.
Spoiler.
I didn't say that outcome. I'm sticking to what but hey, it was awesome.
Oh, me getting hurt was awesome?
Apparently.
Not that.
Me getting hurt was awesome.
I didn't mean it like that.
Garrett.
That's how it came out just now.
I know.
Garrett,
let's. I'll just stop.
Why don't we? All right. You know what? Anytime we need to talk about Ataxia, Coffin, you give us a word by word what needs to be said, how it needs to be said, and I personally will read it. I will not leave it up to Garrett to do it.
And no matter what, no matter where you guys are on the card, whether you have a match or
it's always the main event. I don't care where it's on the card. It's always the main event.
We'll even talk about it first. How about that?
Sounds fair to me, I think.
First, no matter what you guys do, even if it's just showing up and beating the crap out of everybody and leaving, We'll make sure it's the first thing.
It's always the main event.
All right. Is that can we repair our relationship with that branch?
I don't know, because you still haven't asked how I'm feeling these days.
Well, okay.
Well, I think it's safe to assume an athlete of your caliber, and I just saw you knock our door off the hinges.
You did just rip the door off the hinges.
You're doing okay.
Get better doors.
How are you feeling?
Is your chest and arm okay?
No, it's not. I'm in a lot of pain. But you know what? I was still back in the ring the following week.
Right.
You didn't ask me how my first match went.
I'm sorry. Oh, man.
I'm so sorry.
My debut match.
Yeah.
I got the most eliminations because it was a battle royal.
Oof.
You know, until I got punched in the throat.
Oh, but okay, so tell everyone where you went first off.
Survival Championship Wrestling.
Because we don't report. We
it was
exclusively.
But you know what happened.
Immortal is our.
But you knew what happened.
Yeah, but the performers have to come on and tell us what happens in other ones.
Well, it was my first match. I had to fill in last minute, and I went in.
Congratulations, man.
It was a title match. Shut up.
Yes, sir.
It was a title match. I didn't win, but I made it to the final 6, got the most eliminations, and I was doing great until I got punched in the throat. But I will say I was eliminated by Mike Skyros, the eventual winner, so I can't really complain about that. The guy actually went on to win the title that was up for grabs, the collar and elbow. So you don't ask me how I'm doing. You don't ask me how my first match was. You don't congratulate me on my first match, but you want to repair bridges.
Okay.
You know things are happening, and I'm here. It should be, hey, how's it going? How you doing? How you feeling?
Well, but
Coffin, what do you have coming up?
You
got anything good coming up?
You know what? I'll let you know when we get there. I'm taking some time off right now.
Okay. Again, apologies for all that. I hope everything with your health is good.
Nah, you don't care about me.
I'm glad you had a good match. How many eliminations did you have?
I'll send you the video later. You can watch it yourself.
All right. We'll share it right on Wrestle Fandom Radio if you want us to.
I'll think about it.
All right. Well, so I mean, are we allowed to get on with the rest of our show here? Do you want to?
Oh yeah. No, by all means.
What we're talking about, because today is essentially mainly the promo review show. Over the past couple of weeks, there's just been tons of promos shot in the big leagues that we wanted to get to. So.
Oh, I do have one more question though.
What's that?
With the Greeks and Sheiks. Sorry. Why? I understand why you would call them dominant, because they are. But you left out Ataxia. What would we have to do to be mentioned in that conversation?
Well, I mean, it's definitely up in the running for now. I haven't watched that last match, but I mean, considering, how, dare I say, conniving they can be, and the fact that they're holding all the gold.
Well, in my opinion, with my personal issues with Blaze, I would put you guys as the dominant force.
What's wrong with Blaze?
Well, we exchanged some words.
They got into it on the show last time when Blaze was on.
I'm sure you started it.
Actually, me and him were getting into it, and Blaze interjected himself in a conversation that didn't involve him.
Well, what if Ataxia fought them?
Oh, Ataxia.
I mean, we haven't gone up against them yet. What if we fought them?
Yeah, I mean,
I know where I'm placing my money.
Numbered. I
know where my paycheck's going to be put on.
I mean, they're all great.
Yeah.
So, but we respect them. They respect us. We like what each other do. We have no reason to fight each other. But you want us to fight each other.
I'm not. I didn't.
Is
say
that what you're saying?
No, I didn't say that at all.
That's the impression I got.
No, you just said that.
So no, hang on, no. You just agreed though when I brought that up. So you want two very diverse groups.
No.
Whoa, hang on now.
No. Stop cutting him off.
Stop. Yeah. Be polite. I'm your guest.
He's
So you want two diverse groups of people, all different types of races and religions and everything, to come together and fight and destroy each other? Is that what you're saying?
No. I mean, in the interest of wrestling, maybe, but like.
In the interest of wrestling, for his entertainment.
But no.
So for his entertainment,
for everyone's entertainment, it's wrestling.
But you
for that one. That's not even what I said.
There is no storyline there to be had.
So for even
You just want them to
even
you
just
want a race war?
No,
That's what it sounds-
absolutely not.
That's what it sounds like.
No. Everyone in there is all
Garrett.
mixed together. How that doesn't even make sense.
Oh, we're gonna have lawsuits.
I didn't say that even to start with.
no, but that's how you finished. Interestingly enough, for your entertainment. So, but that's all right. You know how progressive of you. That's fine. We can continue on now.
What is this? The '60s?
Dude, that's not what just happened.
That's exactly what just happened, Possum.
All right, can we please?
Yeah, we can continue on. What do you got on the docket today, boys?
All right. Well, obviously,
I'm sorry, everyone watching.
obviously, the big thing that we needed to get to was
First, let's
the promo that set up
TV timeout, Garrett.
what?
Can we thank our sponsors for sponsoring
yes. I'm
us?
sorry. Yes, thank
You, dude, you're just.
Well,
You're not gonna
I'm
have many
sorry.
sponsors after this.
I guess not.
Probably not. But all right, thank you to the sponsors. You know, we would like to thank Dippin' Seasonal, Rockin' Horse. You guys make the show happen. We appreciate it. And also big shout out to Boswick's for hopping on. We appreciate you. And am I allowed to go on to the show?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Just choose your words carefully, please.
Okay. All right. Now, the promo that set up pretty much all these other promos having to happen was MJF
And CM Punk.
and CM Punk went at it in a 20-minute
Segment.
can only be called a war of words. Okay, no arguing. You know, your turn, your rebuttal, your rebuttal. If you would have said it a month ago, CM Punk and MJF were going to go at it, I would have been like, MJF is going to destroy him, right? Because MJF uses a lot of truth,
Correct.
but his only downfall in insults is sometimes they get a little childish,
Sometimes.
you know? So, yeah. So, and it happened a couple times, but not as much as I thought it would. He used more of the truth, you know.
My favorite part of his.
It was the hustle, loyalty, respect.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly the whole him comparing CM Punk to Cena.
Yeah.
And him ending it with, you might as well just be yelling out hustle, loyalty, respect. I thought that
It was
hit home because this Punk version of Punk that we've seen since he's been back hasn't been that anti-authority.
yeah, he
Punk.
calls him out. He's like, "Where's
He's
the
been
rebel?"
a company guy since he's come back, which, yes, it's a different company, and he really has had no reason to be an adversary to the company, but, like, he is kind of being the poster boy for it.
Right.
And for MJF to call him out like that, and in return, CM Punk to call MJF a less famous, not famous Miz, was, because that's really what he is.
He did. I mean, and that line was.
I
I was playing Halo online with guys when I think you sent me the clip,
Yes.
and I then played it for them, and they were like, "Like you audibly heard the gasp in my ear." They're like, "What?" And then to later on to see the whole thing
the whole it was
I mean, just
it was great.
yeah.
It was probably CM Punk's best promo since the pipe bomb.
Absolutely
But now, do you think he was wrong in saying that?
Not at all.
wrong in saying what?
That he's a less famous Miz?
No, that's what he's.
No,
that's what he is.
first off, they were going at each other with like all the insults. So for MJF to hit him with, the shorter than the UFC career is
Oh,
like
that was a great. That
like,
was another great line.
And then he calls him out on using the lowest hanging fruit. Like it's you have to do. If you want to make a promo as great as that, you have to hit everyone with all of that. And then, which I think what really put, because it's like if you had a meter, right, that was like in the middle and you had MJF here and CM Punk. So like, it's like he hit him with like the UFC line, and then he hit him with the Miz line, which is awesome. But then when he got him with the hustle, loyalty, respect line, I mean, I was like, uh-oh. But then CM Punk comes back with the, telling him that, he thinks he's the best of the four pillars, and he doesn't realize he's been replaced by Britt Baker. And it was like, oh man. And then he buries him.
Yeah.
Buries him with the Triple H line.
Yeah.
He insulted like 10 people with one line. Like he got every single McMahon, Helmsley, he got MJF, he got all of them in one sentence. And I was super impressed.
And go ahead,
I mean, you got two of the best talkers in the business going at it. You can't be disappointed with anything. And as good as MJF is, I don't think he can out-talk Punk.
No, I don't. I think
Not now.
But that's the thing. We really hadn't seen Punk cut a promo in a very long time. To see that there was no ring rust per se on those promo skills, because MJF kills it. Like when he cut that promo on Darby Allin, where he brought up the car crash that Darby was in with his uncle, that his uncle died on. And he told Darby that he was the one that should have died, not his uncle. Like, MJF is very, very good at taking those real life things and putting them into the promos.
Oh, just like with Pillman.
Yes.
That I enjoyed thoroughly.
Yeah.
I thought that was spectacular.
I mean, he got everybody. Mm-hmm. They were all there.
Yeah.
And he was like, he got them all.
And I was actually kind of hoping that would be a Pillman Jr. MJF feud out of that, but of course not.
Right.
So,
yeah,
it was a fantastic promo. And then we have the following Monday, you have The Miz and Edge have their own little war.
Both return and it
wasn't as good as the Punk and MJF.
No,
I
not
must
even
say.
close.
It was very entertaining, though.
I mean, it was entertaining, but I mean, it wasn't even close, though.
Not even close.
And it was like a light version of it. Like, it was like,
of course it is, because it's WWE. Like,
right.
It was them trying to. It was an obvious WWE rebuttal.
Yes.
Right.
And that's when I feel like if WWE wants to act like AEW isn't a threat, then they need to not react to anything that they do.
Of course they're going to react, because they see the writing on the wall. Like, we are a year, 2 years out from having another Monday Night War. Like, AEW's getting that traction, getting that momentum to where it's actually going to be a competition, especially if WWE keeps making the missteps that they have been making.
Yeah.
And like something Edge in his promo to The Miz that really, really got me thinking, when he talked about The Miz using WWE to launch his brand, his reality shows, and like everything else, it makes you think. He meant it as a dig, but when he said to The Miz, he's like, nobody expects you to make it to WWE. Nobody expects you to make it this far. Nobody expects you to make it as far as you've made it. And The Miz replied, he's like, I've surpassed you. Like, in reality, like, what The Miz has done for himself, like a contestant on The Real World, to put it, like, literally, like, I want to be a wrestler, and doing everything that he's done in the last 15 years is quite amazing. Like, he really has beat the odds, and he is entertaining regardless of where they put him on the card. One of my favorite promos of all time is on the Talking Smack episode, where he just goes off on Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, that was the promo of the decade for WWE.
Like that was what we should have seen here with Edge and The Miz.
Right.
And because The Miz can deliver it, and Edge can deliver it too. Maybe not as good, but there could have been a promo there that would not have been as good as MJF and Punk, but something that could have been like almost there, even for WWE TV.
Right.
Because the Miz can kill it, and like it just makes me like really respect and enjoy The Miz, because whatever he's doing, he's always at the very, very least entertaining. And I like Edge, no pun intended, kind of getting his edge back a little bit, like getting that he's like, everybody in that locker room wants to be here. He's like, I have this little window Like, and everybody's like fighting who gets to fight me because we all know Edge maybe has a year left, if that. Yeah. Like he physically just can't. He's physically
wrestling on borrowed time.
Yeah, oh, at 100%. And like, let's be honest, the Miz is probably super honored to be in this program with Edge right now.
He's probably like
it's probably a
no matter what he's doing, like, hey, you want to work a program with Edge? Yeah. He was probably like, absolutely.
What could be Edge's last program, really?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
And I did like Mrs. Dig when he was like, the last WrestleMania you were on, you opened the show, and I was the main event with John Cena. Like that was great. Like he's like, right. I surpassed you. So I like where they're going with it. It just that promo was not where it should have been. And then we go ahead.
Well, the problem with that is the program that it's on.
Correct.
You're not going to get what you want out of it. WWE waters everything down.
Yep. Because
they have to keep all different corporations, all different money investors happy and everything. Yep. If you let Miz just talk, he's going to produce gold.
Oh, 100%.
You know, Edge, I don't think so. Not anymore. And he was never that strong of a talker to begin with.
No, he can. More of his intensity.
If he's given those talking points to give, he can
do it. Yeah. But he's not one of those guys that can really talk on their feet.
Correct.
Yeah.
Can't come up with something.
More of his intensity came from like threats, like what he's gonna do to you.
Right, but then he would back it up.
It's like that passion that he gives with it too. Like when he would give like those anger induced promos. It was like always that's when he was at his best.
The talk out of the type of when he's like with the clench the jaw and the talking out of the top.
Because he has he's got the perfect jaw for that.
So that the actual like verbal joust that's never been or never had to really be Edge at all.
No, and when he was the whole Matt Hardy Lita thing and all that, that was some of the worst promos he's ever done.
Right,
he was terrible.
Yeah,
I just didn't like that angle.
And then they let Lita talk, and it got even worse.
That angle was just not. This just wasn't good. I'm sorry. I know it's like semi-classic. The people talk about it. I don't care. It
was trash.
It wasn't a good angle.
It was trash.
And then this week we got the rare good promo from Brock Lesnar.
Dude. Okay, so I know I have been extremely critical of Brock on this show.
Oh, you're critical of someone? No way. At least you remember him. Which is convenient because he's not within striking distance of you either. I'm just saying.
I know I've been extremely critical of Brock Lesnar on this show. And it's mainly because I get angry that they put a title on a part-time wrestler.
I agree.
He draws.
Right. I love this version of Brock Lesnar.
This is my favorite version of Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar being himself.
I think it's awesome. The beard, the long hair, the
cut-off flannel,
the
cowboy
boots. But this was, I mean, it wasn't like some far and away, like, oh my God, like, did you see that promo he just cut? Like, nothing like the CM Punk thing. But, like, for Brock Lesnar, who has had terrible,
he notoriously cannot talk. Yeah, which part of the reason is because he's got a Mike Tyson voice. His voice does not match the body of that man.
No, it doesn't. No. Which is why they gave him Heyman, which was the best thing that happened to him.
The best thing that happened to Reigns, too, because Reigns can't talk either.
Absolutely. So, but now...
I hate him.
I almost got in a fight with him.
No, really?
Like, legit, almost got into a fight with Roman Reigns.
I don't like the guy, but I don't think that would have gone too well for him.
No, and he was with Jey Uso and R-Truth.
Were they drunk?
They were drinking.
Oh, okay. See, I wouldn't fight R-Truth. I just hang out with him.
Well, like, so...
Yeah, tell him.
One of our buddies that does a show, Captain Sam's, he at his wedding, it was at Doubletree in Syracuse, and WWE had a show here at the Odd. And we're walking out of the wedding, and my buddy, his wife are both big wrestling fans. The three of them are sitting at the bar. I come up and I go, excuse me, I hate to bother you guys. My best friend just got married. Him and his wife are big fans. Would you guys mind taking a picture? And Reigns looks at me, and he goes, get the fuck away from me. And I go, whoa. And Uso, R-Truth both stood up and like kind of walked toward me like I was being like aggressive, which I wasn't. I made sure I went over there nicely. You know what I mean? And so I leave. My buddy's new wife comes up in her wedding gown and everything. He's like, "Hey, can you take a picture with us?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I already told the guy the groom sent over. No, I guess I can't say no to the bride." So they take a picture with it. TMZ gets a hold of it. The story on TMZ, you can still go read it, was that they crashed the wedding, partied with everybody, had a great time and everything, which was not. They threatened to assault me and like that, and that's what happened. So
Fake news.
I don't like Reigns.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, like,
you have every right. I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, he sucks on the mic. He sucks in the ring. I mean, he's
just big and strong.
That's it. Which is how some of them start, but some of them progress past that.
Yeah,
I've seen it,
and he has the look.
But
he's got the name.
He does have
what
the
it
look.
is. It's the
you know
name.
what I mean?
But at least he's kind of coming out of the box they put him in. He is getting better.
Because they're letting him be himself. They're letting him be
himself.
Right,
which you apparently have seen.
Cerebral approach that they have to him, how he gained the Usos, and then like how he approaches the rest of the match, like that's the best program he's ever worked. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? How when he's like,
Yeah.
But I read this week
like
too. The whole Rock Reigns WrestleMania match is a no-go because The Rock isn't available. So guess what we're gonna get for WrestleMania, guys? Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
That's never been done before.
I know. Maybe.
I know.
Seth Rollins will win Money in the Bank and cash in at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's never been done before either.
Yeah, they need to. They need to work on not burying anyone else that can go against. Like, you got to stop. They have to stop putting up certain wrestlers on pedestals so high that it seems like only other certain people can take them down.
Oh,
Because they did it with Brock, and then they put the belt on Roman, and now it's like, well, okay, but you made it so like, Roman can beat, but like hands down, undoubtedly beat Brock. So what? Now Brock is just going to come back, and and now he's like,
right.
It's not making any sense.
We don't want to see the same thing over and over.
The same thing,
No,
who wants
but
to see the same thing over and over? Because what if, what if Big E stops being champ and then actually goes back to SmackDown? Big E should be who takes on Roman Reigns. Right. You know what I mean? Like have him, maybe lose the belt back to Lashley. And then go. No, trust me, I don't like Lashley. I've never liked him, and I don't. But
talk about Mike Tyson voice.
It'd be, he'd be a good foil to Big E. For them to, especially if they, do more Hurt Business stuff, and then he goes back to SmackDown, and then he should be who takes on.
Well, for
Roman Reigns.
The day one pay-per-view, it's rumored now it will no longer be a triple threat. It'll be a four-way match, and Lashley will be the fourth one in. So it'll be Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley.
So do we think someone else is gonna steal it?
Who knows? Maybe they'll just have the rest of the roster all wrestle together, and they can just have a big 15-man match to see who's going to be champ. Because the writers apparently don't know what to do anymore, and they're just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks.
They haven't known what to do for a long time.
I mean, I would say after the WrestleMania where Kofi won,
which was astounding.
They plummeted. I mean, everything was great from I'd say probably 2016, 2015 to right up till then. And then somehow they dropped off. And then luckily AEW came in right at the right time to grab wrestlers. But getting off on the tangent, Brock Lesnar's promo was his best promo.
Yeah, it was great.
But his best on the mic moment, because and I don't care what anybody says, Sami Zayn I think he's a wrestling treasure. I think he's a gift.
He's great.
I think he's a gift to
He's
the
so
company.
good.
You know what I mean? He's great on the mic. He's out there. He's great on like promos in the back. He can
Whatever they give this kid,
He can do it.
he runs with it.
Yeah, when he gets in his brain and he's talking and he starts doing this like right in front of the camera, he's fantastic. He's great. I don't know what's going on with his beard and his hair. It's a little weird.
Because he's supposed to be like this conspiracy theory guy.
Right.
Like,
yeah, but I mean he's looking. It's a little. But anyways,
it's a little much. I know.
But for
he looks like a ginger Fidel Castro.
yeah,
You know, now that you mention it, yeah, it does.
he really does though. But for Brock, Brock comes out. He says a few words. He gets interrupted, and then
And we all know how we all hate to get interrupted, right? Cuff?
Yeah.
Jerk.
really stop kissing his hand. Just saying.
Yeah, I can't hear you in the headphones with the mic right next to your mouth.
All right, sorry. Anyways, so for him to then just look at Sammy and be like, "Who the hell are you?"
Are you a fan?
Yeah, like it was. I mean, it was just great. And then he's like, "Oh no, I'm your fan." Like it felt like a legitimate conversation that they were having. And then, he gets a little bit close and he puts his hand on him, and everyone, the crowd reaction was perfect because he puts his hand on him. Everyone's like, "Ooh!" He's like, "Okay, I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry. And then, he talks him into cashing in his title shot that night. It was great.
Yeah,
it was a great promo.
It was.
It was his best because it felt so natural. It felt like anyone else in the game who's good at them. So yeah, it was great.
It was great.
It's good to see Brock being the way he is now, though, because he does have the legitimacy behind him.
And you could tell like he feels more comfortable being natural, like with everything he's doing.
He's been around long enough, gone to the UFC, done some football, whatever. But there's no reason why he shouldn't be acting the way he is now. It's taken a long time, but he's gotten there, and you got to respect that. You got to enjoy
100%.
that.
Right.
Like it's way better seeing him with his cutoff and his jeans, have his beard out, looking like himself instead of coming up clean cut, wearing Jimmy John shorts like every week, doing the
Well, sponsorships. I mean,
no, and I get it, but you could tell he's more comfortable in this version of himself.
Yeah,
that he's not trying to pretend. And it's very, very obvious.
And you know what I think part of it is too? It's not just being comfortable with him. It's just he doesn't care anymore.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't care. Why should he? He's done it all already.
He's got more money than he knows what to do with. His life is exactly what he lives on. The middle of nowhere with Sable, and he gets to kill stuff and work out. Like
That's a good life.
100%.
I don't know about the Sable part, but
He's living.
If you would have asked 12-year-old me, it would have thought it was a good thing, but
you would.
So, but yeah, and then the only other thing wrestling-wise I'd want to get into before we hit our top five would be did you guys watch War Games at all?
I saw bits and pieces.
So the entire show, okay, it's all right, but for the War Games match to have like the brand new guys beat like the quote unquote like older guard, I thought it was crap. I'm sorry. Like,
well, then you got.
I know the new guys are supposed to be like, okay, they're the new. It's 2.0. Yeah. It's supposed to be all this stuff.
It's garbage.
But you're telling me that those guys, all the new guys, beat the team that they had. Are you kidding me? Pete Dunne, LA Knight, Johnny Gargano, and what's his name? The Sicilian assassin, Tommaso Ciampa. You're kidding? Like you're. I don't care what other team you put together.
Gargano signed a week extension on his contract just to do War Games.
Yeah.
Like, it's... Like, obviously, they're heading a new direction with NXT. I think it's dumb. I thought NXT was actually a fantastic product before.
Not so much anymore.
No. This 2.0 thing is...
I mean, look what they've done with Joe Gacy.
Yeah. It's horseshit, really. Like
it is,
and it just they're doing what WWE does best, They're pushing stuff we don't want pushed. We're getting things are getting thrown down our throat that we don't give a shit about.
Yeah, but isn't that just like classic WWE at this point?
That's what it is. And like,
how long did they shove Roman Reigns down your throat before they finally gave you a good Roman Reigns product like there is now?
5 years.
Long enough that it actually drove people away.
Yeah.
Myself included.
Yeah. I mean, again, like, yes, this is the best program he's worked, how they're using him, how they're working him. But prior to that, like, no one cared. No one cared at all. I mean, it's like, and I never, like, hated Roman Reigns, but I was still like, enough with this. Why are you pushing this guy that he doesn't have all of it yet? You know what I mean? Stop. Right. And they just didn't.
But like you said, they pushed him for 5 years like that. And now it's, to me, I mean, he's doing a good job. But
it's the best version
of it.
It's
too little, too late.
Yeah, but like, who else do you know got a 5-year push that they didn't necessarily deserve?
John Cena.
That he didn't deserve, though?
He didn't deserve any of that. He's one of those guys I feel had all kinds of potential, and then he got to a certain point and he just stopped growing.
Yeah, I don't necessarily.
I don't want to argue any point against you.
No, if you disagree on this, go ahead.
Well, it's not so much that I mean, when you look back, even at the last few matches that he came and did, I mean, even those were like excellent because when you think like, all right, well, he's this now, even semi part-time wrestler, and then he's still pulling out. Yeah, the AJ Styles match at SummerSlam. That was the best match at SummerSlam.
Yeah, AJ carried him nicely.
Yeah, well, I mean, AJ could wrestle a mop and it'd be the best match you've ever seen.
True that.
True. Which I think people would pay to see.
I'd pay to see that.
100%.
I mean, Al Snow wrestled Head, so
yeah, which was fantastic.
You forgot about that, didn't you?
I did forget about it. But I wasn't expecting it to get brought up. But yeah. before we go in the top 5, I wanted to talk about Cody Rhodes.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got to talk about the Cody Rhodes thing.
The match with Andre, right? Did I say it right that time?
Andrade.
Whatever. Flaming table. Mm-hmm. Like, that's all I have to say. And I know you both seen the picture of his back.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the footage.
And I've been saying this for the last year on the show. Cody Rhodes is the unsung hero of wrestling the last couple of years. Like, he's done, like, he showed all these people who have now left either on their own accord or being released or whatever that you can leave WWE and there's a very lucrative life outside of it. Mm-hmm. Helping start AEW, even being in AEW and not having to be the top guy, not having to be the main event all the time, letting everybody else kind of do everything and just being like almost like a proud father, like look at this, and willing to put people over. Like he like honestly he's doing his father's legacy like so much, like not tribute. You know what I'm getting at, though, right?
Yeah, no, explain it.
He's making his dad proud,
as well he should.
And it's for me, it's really nice to see somebody who could be an asshole about it. It could be, you know what? I'm VP of this. I want to be in the main event picture. And very similar, like when they gave Hogan all the creative control when he was at WCW. And Hogan refused to give up the belt. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's so nice to see somebody willing to almost like give back to the business in the way I feel like Cody does.
Well, he was brought up right in the business, though. Yeah. He knows how to work. He knows how to do it.
Yeah, and it's wonderful. Like if you haven't seen the match, watch the match. It's absolutely 100% worth it.
Oh. Next time he does a flaming table spot, though, he better make sure that it's not him going through it alone. So, which to me, he doesn't need to do that.
No,
he's a Rhodes. He doesn't need to do that crap. But it was fun to watch.
It was very fun to watch. Maybe next time they need Vaseline his back up a little bit
Something.
So
You
he
had that
doesn't
melted
catch on
plastic stuck right to his back. That was
Yeah,
nasty.
the picture is pure insanity. It's back afterwards. I mean, because it's like, yeah, we saw, the what was the other big flaming table one? One was
Foley and Edge.
Foley and Edge
Yeah.
when they went through, but it's like, Foley took the brunt of it on his back, and and he had a shirt on, like
Yeah.
it was very different, and it's pure crazy moment. So, but you ready to get to this week's top right? Hold on. So again, now continuing the what we talked about on our last one, we've been creating stables in different companies. This week is Impact. Do you happen to want to get in on this, or
No, I'll just listen to what you guys have to say. I have no opinion about Impact, although I did meet their champ, hell of a guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so why don't you go ahead. You go first.
All right. So my is Sammy Callahan, Good Brothers, Matt Cardona, Brian Myers, with Chelsea Green.
Okay, and the name?
Destruction Construction.
Okay, all right.
And they just go through and they're that not necessarily heel, but not necessarily face, and kind of the buck authority. We're the best. Who can bring it to us? And because Cardona and Myers already great together, great against each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just like Sammy Callahan a lot.
Right.
And
I forget he exists. And I like the guy.
No.
And the Good Brothers.
Oddly enough, I kind of forget. Whenever he shows up, like I'm like, oh yeah, Sammy Callahan. I don't know what that is. It's like some perception filter thing. It's like when he's not there, I forget about him.
Right.
It's really weird. I don't know what it is. So the one I created is Jonah, just now new to Impact.
Yep.
Eric Young, criminally underrated his entire career in my opinion. Eddie Edwards, Matt Cardona, who's also I feel criminally underrated as well.
I agree.
And Jordan Grace as Supremacy. And again, same type of thing. It's just like, you know what? We're all respectively the best. Let's just do this, and handle everyone in like their different, because you have female, you have guys who can team up together there. You have the big guys, you have smaller guys. They could just take out everything across the board in Impact. So it could be very interesting.
I like it.
So that'd be a lot of fun for there, but it's Impact. Who knows what they would do with anything,
Right.
and they're very very hit or miss as a company now. So
That's very, very true.
Listen, I forget they exist.
so yeah, that's our show. We'll actually be back instead of 2 weeks in 3, because after next week's.
We're going to do Movie Madness 2 weeks in a row. We're going to do a Christmas spectacular on the 22nd.
On the 22nd.
So what are you doing next week?
Oh, Movie Madness.
Movie Madness?
Yeah. So, yeah.
I'll come back for that. Thanks for the invite.
You're coming back for that?
Oh, I'll be here.
We were gonna do musicals next week.
Oh, beautiful. I'll come down for some musicals and talk about them with y'all and get into it.
You sure?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We might as well not get the door fixed this week.
No,
No.
don't bother.
We'll wait
No.
till.
Also, now you know I'm coming. Get a coffee pot.
Okay.
I want some coffee waiting if you don't mind.
We will have a coffee waiting
Do
for
you
you.
like cream and sugar?
Yeah.
All right.
Little Baileys.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
Black.
Anything else? Anything else?
Do you want snacks?
No. I don't trust you.
All right. Well, join us next week on Movie
thanks
Madness.
to Seasonal Sports.
Because Coffin will be back
Donuts.
when we'll be doing musicals.
Yep. I'll come down and talk
Apparently,
musicals.
with him, which is not weird at all.
How's it?
So,
it's weird to you? How's it weird to you?
I said it's not weird. I just said it's not
Do
weird.
you not think I'm cultured?
No, I
Do you
didn't. I
not think
just
I
said it's not
have-
weird.
Okay.
There's no weirdness. All right. Thank you again to the sponsors. You make the show happen, and we love you. And we will see everyone next week.
Later.
I'm